Hey. It is the 20th of October. It is BloomCast episode 29. Oh my God, we are still in lockdown. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I'm really ready to leave the city now. I've been thinking about it for about 2 months. And this background never changes. It's always kind of the same city, and I can't even leave my house. So I really want to get out now. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks. I will be coming to you guys live from somewhere else. I won't say exactly where yet, but yeah, my background might change. I'm joined today by a stellar cast of guests, and that is a pun on one of the topics that we are going to be talking about later. With me is CTO of Bloom, Ramon Tayag. CEO of TagCash, Mark Vernon. Coach Eman joining us for just a few minutes. It looks like he's had a long night of, I'm not sure if that's trading or if he's just tired. But we also have Bloom's COO, Justin David. I think he might have left the stream momentarily, but I'll reintroduce him when he's back. How are things going, guys? Mark, how are things going with you? I heard that you were just on the Seamless conference circuit just earlier today.
Just 3:30 in the morning, my time, 9 a.m. Singapore. Talking about contactless payments, QR codes, stuff, central bank currencies. I had to shove that in there. I've already made the move, by the way, out of the country for a while. So I'm following your. I've already started the trend. Maybe.
What's your what's the audience of Seamless these days? Do you know if things have changed?
It's contactless payments. So anyone who's involved with payments, banks, e-wallets, fintechs. So it's all the same. Yeah. So you like I said, you can. When you do the show and you know who's been watching by the amount of sales calls you get coming in afterwards, people trying to sell you things or hook up or do whatever.
Yep, that is true. Okay, there's Justin David. All right, there we go. So this is the full cast, guys. So we don't have a guest this week, but what we would like to do next week actually is take someone. Bring someone on from Crypto PH. This is the Crypto PH Telegram group is quickly becoming one of the country's nicest hubs for crypto discussion and polite disagreements. So I like that. I think that there are too many Bitcoin fans on this show right now. It would be good to have a handful who have a different point of view when it comes to some of the altcoins and the other blockchain techs out there. So I guess we can start with just like what happened to the price last week. And this is usually Coach Eman's segment. Oh man, here's that image problem again. I don't know what the heck is going on here all the time, but I can tell you what it was. I mean, we were at $11,300 last week. And then this morning we were about $11,800. So we had a pretty good number go up.
Who was the person on the comment last week? The girl, what was her name?
What was it? Do you remember?
Charmaine?
Charm Hernandez. Yeah. So what did she say?
She said it was going up.
Okay, all right. It's a 50-50 chance. Coach, are you gonna share your screen or? Okay. So I remember that we were like half of the panel said that we were gonna go up, but I forgot what I really should have written that down.
Yeah, I said it would be 12,500, and it's 11,800. So we're getting there.
Yeah. Give it another week. Okay. Coach Eman, tell us what happened.
Yeah. So last week, so isa ako sa nagbet that BTC will go down. So hindi tayo umabot doon, and very hard to see if the price if it's going around this area. So as what we have mentioned, potentially this price is also creating the same pattern, and more likely, hindi pa lang more likely, no, possibility pa lang dahil there's no information yet that is telling us that we already have this kind of swing. So with that, we also want to again mention that it's not a financial advice. So for those who are again trading or already ready to click whether to buy or sell, okay, for those who are watching, again, this is just an analysis, and there's a lot of things that you need to consider before executing a trade. So yeah, last week after let's say Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so we had this congestion. So it means if we are experiencing a congestion in price action, there's a huge probability that the price uh, is retesting the resistance in this level. So yun yung one of the important concept that we must understand when it comes to support and resistance. So again, in a short period of time, if the resistance is getting tested a lot of times, again, huge probability of breaking that area. So either again support or resistance. So very important concept. So from here we can also see it's very apparent na the price already broke around this level, pero I'm not expecting for the price to shoot magkaroon siya ng drastic move that will retest at 2,700 or 2,500 level, because if that is going to happen, I want to see a concrete pattern. So just like what I've plotted here, so meron akong box dito. So yun yung isang titignan ko. And aside from that, if we're going to use our Fibonacci level, it's already going to retest na 786 level, and meron tayong nakitang 88, so that is just a hidden number. Yan, so para hidden na talaga siya. So inalis ko na siya. So the reason why I removed that Fibonacci level is because usually we call this meron kasi isang strategy na tinatawag, which is harmonic patterns. So I don't use that pattern or strategy in this in Fibonacci in Bitcoin. So simply put, it is trending market. Pero since it's if you are trading in ranging market, so let's say like Forex, definitely that will also help you see a probable move if you're going to use that strategy. But again, you should do your back testing if you're going to use that strategy. So for going back to Bitcoin, and it's already now around siguro mga ilan na lang ba to? Maybe 200 to 300 to 200 dollar to go before we reach a 12,000 level. And I believe since it seems na maraming na-stop out dito during the trade, let's say for those who are trading in leverage or margin, most of them get stop out here. So, and we also want to consider na marami din na tao na who might be in the emotional level na baka hindi na umakyat yung Bitcoin. So that's why we might also want to consider this level as a resistance that is very memorable sa kanila. Kasi again, 12,000 level is a psychological level, which also tells us na it can be a very important level or important resistance that might need more retesting before it gets broken. So yeah.
Coach, when I was looking at so I was not the Bitcoin chart, but the Ethereum chart from this last week, from this week, it looked like it was constantly retesting 380, something like that. It just kept hitting that and then dropping back. It kept getting rejected. So is it doing the same thing as Bitcoin is doing? In other words?
Yes, actually, yun yung isa kong sa nakita, no. There are positive correlation in major currencies. So like Ethereum, BTC, and actually the top 10. And most of them are already retesting their resistances. Pero the thing that we need to consider is kung sino yung mauna, right? Kasi most of them also has the same pattern. So titignan natin mabuti yung movement nila. Parang this BTC has this pattern, and that's also true with Ethereum. So the difference is, ito is meron siyang mahabang fake out. With BTC, it's look like on head and shoulder. But overall, they share the same market cap, especially with the top 10. So that's why we can see most of the top 10 are also on a positive correlation.
You don't when you say the top 10, are you counting the stable coins in that top 10?
No, actually no.
Okay. So just the
Tradable
how do you
currencies.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Got it. Yeah, how do you differentiate it? Was there a different word for like Bitcoin and Ethereum? Like, because they're not a stable coin. Do we just call them crypto?
Crypto?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, I've always wondered.
Yeah, pharmacy specific, no?
Yeah,
Question,
I
Coach.
don't know.
No problem.
With Bitcoin, if we touch 12,000 again, what are your and its resistance point? What are the pullback levels?
Pullback levels might be 11,500, pero again, not sure if this is going to hold since I'm referencing the next pattern will be the same pattern as what it did during May to July. So that's what I'm looking at.
So 12,000 and then maybe a what?
At 12,000, let's say
Comeback.
if we pwede kasi yung range na to is around, let's say, 12,000 to 12,400 or 12,000-ish. So, pwede niya i-retest yung highs around this level. And if successfully hit this level, sabihin natin, nag-hold siya around this area, 11,500. And if it didn't hold, possibly bumaba naman siya ng 11,000 na. So, 11,800. So basically, I'm referencing the overall range of this highs and lows itong naka-box, which is 11,500 to 11,000.
Do you think, Coach, if this repeats again, that pattern that you're kind of vaguely kind of following, no? If it repeats again, and so we establish that sort of same pattern, and it just keeps recreating the same pattern over and over again for the next 8 months. Is that possible?
Yeah. Yes, possible. So, pero we have a critical scenario here. If may time kasi na if the price starts to fade, yung price action niya or yung strength niya, there's a possibility na mag-form na siya for it could form a formation not for a bullish pattern but for a bearish pattern. So, yun yung critical part pag nagfe-fade yung price. So, when I say fade, instead of the price contracting or nagko-congest sila to retest the resistance level, ang nangyayari is nababawasan yung strength nila. So with that, a lot of people might think na, especially with the technicians and quants, they might think na, probably this is going down. So we might see a possible snowball on the downside if that happens.
Okay. So, Coach, just to clarify that, you mean every time it tests, say, kunwari, the 12,000 barrier, instead of just bouncing back a little bit, it goes down a little bit more each time with each test?
Yes.
So it goes down to like 11.8, 11.7, 11.6,
Exactly.
and stuff like that.
Exactly.
I see. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
So I read that in the last couple of days, Bitcoin's transaction was the lowest it was since May, I think they were saying. And that coupled with the OKX incident tends to be a kind of recipe for the price to go up. Can you confirm that by looking at the chart, like what happened in May?
Didn't OKX go down, force it to go down a bit to 1,300, 11,300 or something?
Right.
Do you think that was a result of OKX?
Possibly, because they also share the market cap on our cryptocurrency space. So yeah, there's a possibility. Pero the thing that we also want to consider din kasi there's a huge change of behavior na in the cryptocurrency space. Unlike before, if we're going to look back on 2017 to 2018, every time there are explosive news or sabihin natin very controversial news na nangyari around the crypto space, especially with the exchanges, nagkakaroon sila ng overreaction in the market. So it could be a possible wild swing or possible wild swing low, wild swing high or wild swing low. But that started to change the moment we entered 2020. So to be honest, this behavior was I didn't expect this, pero the only thing I traded is kasi nakita ko yung pattern. But again, I didn't expect na pupunta siya hanggang dito. And I believe, ayun nga, nagbago na yung behavior ng market. So, yeah, very less volatility with BTC. But if we're going to pay attention to other market such as DeFi market, sobrang laki ng volatility and bears are so aggressive in trading and shorting those markets.
There's a general question in the chat. What are the effects of whales on? I assume he's talking about the resistance at the 12,000 barrier. I mean, I guess there will always be.
There's less crypto, less Bitcoin on the market for sale these days. The whales are the big institutionals that are buying 1%, etc. chunks of the market, so they're not selling.
Yeah.
So who are the remaining whales that actually sell or force the price down or whatever? How big a whale do you need to be to do that?
Yeah, I don't know anymore, because it seems as the price of Bitcoin also goes up, the amount of dollars that you need to move it. I could be Mark.
Give it a shot, Mark. Let's see if it moves.
I moved from being a whale to being a little dominant, like a little sardine, I think.
Let's just see if it moves.
It's interesting.
To answer that question, there will be a effect in the market. Yes, if the whale is selling and that whale is part of 1%, let's say Satoshi Nakamoto, definitely.
Yeah, but how much?
Definitely, right?
How much Bitcoin do you actually have to sell to make a dent in the market? It used to be different years ago. These days, you'd have to sell like $100 million worth or something.
Right. Yeah, I'm not really sure with the data, because I believe if I already set up a quant, so I can give a number, but as of the meantime, I can.
Yeah, I think it's also it matters how you do it. The strategy of how you do it. If you can do it quietly, I don't think it will really affect the price.
And Square said that they bought 50 million in 24 hours, and it did not move the price. So
they
did it steadily. They did it on multiple exchanges and OTC. So OTC doesn't affect the market price too much.
Right. Except that if they were doing it in multiple tranches and they were buying heavily enough, they would have caused the price to jump a little bit. But I don't think anyone detected it at all. It was almost invisible.
So if 50 million is not a whale anymore, what is?
Yeah.
51 million. My opinion regarding that is that Luis is correct. So iba kasi yung way, just like how we trade Bitcoin during 2017 to 2018. So let's say before, people don't know how to trade. People only know how to hodl. And then if they already have a, let's say, decent amount of profit, sige, sell ko na. Pero alam mo yun, they will sell it on a huge chunks. Unlike nowadays, the institutions are there. They know how smart money works. So yeah.
Right. Interesting. That is an interesting difference now, no? In the chat, Attorney Raf is saying, hello, Mark Vernon, baby maker DAO. Just keeping it classy, guys.
This is how bad rumors start,
Yeah, I know. Colin, so I take issue with being called a degen. There aren't actually any degens in this panel right now. Well, I don't know if Justin currently identifies as a degen. Do you have enough DeFi stuff under your belt to qualify yet, Justin?
Hey, that's a secret. I don't invest in DeFi.
Isn't a degen revolutionary, someone with different thinking, not just I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure that they want to think about them that way. Yeah.
Then I'm a degen then. Yeah, definitely.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, Coach. So last week we did up or down, right? So let's do that again this week. Let's try to actually track if we're up or down for this time next week, 7 p.m. October 27th.
I'm back at mine 12.5 when my next.
You're still at 12.5. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
okay. What about everyone else?
I'm saying up, but not 12.5 quite. But I'll say up.
Okay. All right. Coach.
Ito, ninigurado na ako. weekly.
Want to be on the winning
This
side,
time, I'll make sure.
Okay. All right.
Hey,
Down
Coach,
again,
if
down,
you get it
down.
wrong again next week, we might open up your spot. No
This is
pressure.
funny. Okay, all right. Yeah, tell us. Up or down? Up or down
Down,
next week?
down.
Down.
Oh,
Still
okay.
down.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. Wow, you are sticking to
Okay.
your guns. Okay, sige. So it has to be below what sorry, what are we at
11,
exactly?
8.
11,840. So it's
11,
almost
yeah.
12.
Okay,
We're
so
almost
yeah,
12
call
by
it
the end of-
okay. So
Yeah.
yeah.
What?
Yeah, you're pretty close.
Yeah.
11-8.
Okay,
11,
all
8.
right. Okay. Mon.
Up. Below 12 though.
Dude.
So,
Okay, I'm going with up also, and I think it's gonna break 12,
Yeah.
but I don't think it'll make it to 12.5. Quite. Yeah, I
Good.
think it'll
I'll
probably
call you out.
settle.
I'll call you out next Tuesday then.
Yeah. Okay, I'll try to
calling
remember
everyone
this
out,
now.
man.
This
I'm
time,
calling
guys. 'cause
everyone out.
Actually, yeah. Okay.
There's
Okay.
only
So Coach,
one dissent. There's only one dissenting here.
yeah. Okay, that's interesting. People in the chat, feel free to type in what you guys think the price is going to be. Is it going to be above or below $11,800 at this same time next week? We've got a lot of ups so far, but we've got some kind of like half-baked ups. This one's kind of like
Up and down.
that's not great. That's like up a big down.
Big down.
What's that based
Okay.
on? Based on what? Based on what knowledge? Yeah.
Nothing.
What was-
We're all just
What was what was the? There was a conference done, a live stream conference
we're
done
just being
19th of
degens.
October. What was that?
sorry.
Yeah,
What was
it?
the one?
There was a live stream conference by the central bank or whatever in the US. It was on
yes, the
19th October.
IMF, I think.
Yeah, touted
They're
as
talking about-
a bombshell, whatever. It's always sensationalist, but I didn't actually watch
Well,
it.
for
so-
for central banking standards, perhaps.
yeah, the
Yeah.
fact they actually mentioned Bitcoin, it's cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got like the chat is very split right now. I see lots of ups, lots of downs, downs a little bit. Like these are very technical terms we're using here, guys.
Yeah.
So
I go
yeah,
sideways.
yeah. Oh, yeah. It actually sounds like everyone is just saying sideways based on this. But
No,
anyway, so
It's going to
Like,
be
let's
12
see.
by the end of tonight. It's going to be 12 by the end of tonight. Yeah.
probably. But so the bet is not whether it hits 12,000. The bet is what price it'll be at the time of the next episode. So that's really gonna matter, I think. Oh, here, Brian Ledesma, very specific. So he has actually gone really specific with this number. 12,255. Dude, if you are within $50 of that price, I will already be very impressed. So okay. All right, cool.
Hey, if
that-
Riley does, it's we should invite him on the show next week.
Sige. All right. That's a good idea. You can tell us about it.
We should do,
Or the following
the fairground test, the fairground games where you have to guess how many jelly beans in a jar. you
Yeah.
know, and
Yeah.
we should do that, and I'll give $20 in Bitcoin to the person
wow.
that's close.
There we go.
Ah,
Shit.
there you
So we gotta
go.
get to
There
work.
you go, guys. Okay. I don't have the technology to keep track of everyone's vote just yet, but we should do that one of these days where people
Yeah.
can type in a price. Wow, this is a very like you're just not confident we're gonna hit 12,000. It's just like $50 below. Okay. All right. Okay. Sige, Coach, any final words? So you're the only pessimist in the group right now. So
I'm a pessimist.
you're not a
wanted to go-
pessimist.
Possibility lang yun. Possibility. So,
He wants it to go
Oh.
down so he can buy some more.
That's what we all want.
yeah, so possibility of going up, possibility of going down. So yeah, these are just an analysis, but at the end of the day, it's all about making money. So I'll just manage your risk. So if don't use too much leverage para hindi kayo ma-wipe out. So that's it.
Yep.
Guys, people in the chat, we're not bidding for a Bitcoin. You're not, like you're giving us prices like we're in an auction or something.
Mark said the exact he
Uy.
was going to give jelly beans. So, yeah, everyone's kind
Pwede,
of
pwede, no? Kung sino
now.
yung, makapagsabi ng specific price, no?
Exactly.
Pwede.
Yeah. We just need a better way to keep track of
way.
everyone's comments because it's pretty
Okay.
hard right now. Yeah, I can't do it this way. This is gonna be too difficult.
Yeah.
Sige.
So, yeah.
Anyway, okay. Coach, sorry, did you say that you were not staying for the whole show tonight?
Yeah. Maraming
Okay.
gagawin.
All right. Sige.
Thank you, guys.
Please join us again next week.
Bye, guys.
We'll let you know. Hopefully, you're wrong with your bet.
Yeah.
Thanks, Coach. Thank you so much. Okay.
I need coach.
right.
I need coach to come back next, every week to mention the word Fibonacci. It just does it for me.
Man, it's the sexiest term in technical analysis.
Hey, it's the golden rule, right? That's
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
all about perfect
Alright.
angles.
Okay, so earlier we were talking about like where all the whales are. It's not really a secret that the biggest amounts of Bitcoin are kind of centralized with the exchanges, right? Because they're the ones that have the most custody. So there was a nice little study last week that talked about how 10% of Bitcoin's entire supply, including, like when they say 10%, they mean including the ones that were considered lost.
Oh wow!
It's centralized with just 5 exchanges. So I didn't share this this presentation with my co-founders because I wanted to see if you guys could guess who those 5 exchanges were.
Okay, X.
You only
When
need
is this
to get
published?
like one. Just give me the
Binance.
first one
Binance.
first. This is the first one.
Binance.
Number 1. Who do you think is the biggest one? Okay.
Huobi.
All right.
Huobi.
Coinbase.
Okay.
X.
Okay. X. Oh, you mean OK
Was-
Coin? Probably
Was
OK
this
Coin,
before,
right?
Okay,
before or
exchange,
after,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because OK Coin is the one that actually has fiat support. OKX is just an alt exchange. It doesn't
okay,
actually
yeah.
have fiat pairs.
So we're talking about the fiat support ones.
Okay. So let's do our. So Mark, you said, did you say Huobi or?
Yeah, Huobi.
Okay, you're so Huobi. We're just talking about number 1. Who the biggest one is? Mon.
Coinbase.
Oh, the Coinbase, yeah. that's the
Okay.
other one.
Justin.
And Binance was the other one.
Is that your okay? All right. So Mon is correct. It is Coinbase, and it's by a landslide.
Yeah.
Coinbase has 944,000 bitcoins, nearly a million bitcoins.
Wild.
And the number 2 is not even half, right?
Wow.
So Huobi is number 2, 300,000. Binance is pretty close. That's almost 290,000 bitcoin. OKX. Actually, Justin, you were correct that it was OKX, not OKCoin, that had more BTC. And then Kraken, kind of surprisingly, I didn't realize that Kraken actually had this much reach. But like in terms of the ones that Bloom regularly uses, I mean, look at this stuff, right? I mean, Bitstamp rounds out the top. I guess Bitstamp is the 12th, 12th largest. I guess we do Binance, Kraken, and Bitstamp. So those are the 3 that we're pretty active in. I think what was surprising to me is that number 4 is Bitflyer. That is a Japanese exchange. I didn't even realize that they were that big.
Well, Bitflyer is partially owned by a U.S. company as well, right?
Is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Right.
What's interesting here?
Cryptopia. Nice.
Cryptopia and
What is that?
Cryptopia? That's the exchange that got hacked a long time ago.
Okay.
Cryptopia is in New Zealand.
Okay.
Cryptopia is giving back its coins to
not
to
bad.
they've ruled
left?
against what's left, that it's going to go to users rather than shareholders of the company first. So there was a big battle there against who would get whatever's left over. Interesting. I don't know if we're mentioning it here, but Bitstamp recently announced a type of SAFU fund, which is funds are safe. Did you see that? Yeah, it was during
I
the
didn't
week.
see that.
Yeah, they've got, so now users' deposits will be insured. So I wonder if this is over the next couple of quarters going to bump up Bitstamp. Maybe they are. accepting drum roll DeFi coins as well now, like Link and what's the other one that was recently Wi-Fi? I think it was.
Yeah, I mean, Bitstamp is working really hard to round out its altcoin support because for a really long time it had 6, and that was it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of amazing that they survived for so long, and that was all that they supported.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Colin and Raf are saying that. Yeah. So Bitflyer does have New York ties. Looks like DCG. That's Barry Silbert's group is on their is one of their investors. So
Well,
yeah.
I'll
Okay.
put
It does make sense.
I'll
Nice
put
skill.
a
I'm
public
glad
service
Bitstamp-
announcement since we're in the topic. Like, unless you trade your Bitcoin often, take it out of the exchange. Not just because an exchange might get hacked, but like you are way more likely to have a vote, quote unquote, when there's a fork war of some kind.
Right.
Because if the Bitcoin's on an exchange, they essentially make the decision for you.
Right. No, that is true. When Bitcoin Cash was created, a lot of the exchanges were forced to, they were compelled by their users to give them their Bitcoin Cash. And but there were some that still never managed to do it, just because either they just didn't have the tech team to handle it properly, or they just didn't care. But if you kept your wallet, external to that, then you would have that option.
Guys, just quickly highlighting what June said. BTC is pumping. Yep, we're about to approach 11.9. It might.
Oh yeah, there you go. I'm gonna change my bet. I'm gonna change my bet to 13,000.
I like to be right. I like to be right.
Okay.
It's
Wow.
good.
Okay.
I'm
Nice,
glad. I'm glad Bitstamp's still around. I've had an account with them since 2013. 7 years now.
Us too. Us too. If I'm not mistaken, Bitstamp might be majority owned by a Korean company now. I don't think it's the Europeans anymore that own it. Maybe that actually has something to do with why they're suddenly supporting all of these altcoins and stuff like that, because the Korean trading community is just all over this stuff. So that's interesting. Okay. So I kind of was telling people earlier that we were going to talk about Mark's favorite altcoin on the show tonight.
It's not my favorite altcoin. It's the technology, not the altcoin.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So Mark doesn't like XLM, but he likes the Stellar
system. Yeah. I mean, I buy XLM for the utility value. I don't buy it to go. I never thought it would go up in price.
So clear. Yeah. So I get. Yeah. You didn't, but when news like this comes out, I guess people do kind of respond to it by buying the token of that blockchain, the native token of that blockchain. So when USDC decided that Stellar was going to become their official chain, Stellar's price woke up.
It back down again.
Really long time. Has it gone down completely? Let's just do a really quick check. I actually wanted to show you guys what USDC is currently at, because USDC is currently ranked 12 in terms of market cap. So obviously, we've got Tether above it, no, but it's still larger than DAI.
Is it Stellar compared to just other stables?
No. Everything. This list is all the cryptos.
Market cap.
Yeah.
So I think XLM went up to
here you go.
18th spot.
Oh, did it? Okay. Yeah. So the day that the price went up, somewhere between 17th and 18th of October. It's not gone down significantly naman since then. No. It's actually still okay. It's still about 10 cents.
For me, it still means for 10 cents I can do 1 million transactions for $1. That's how cheap it is on the chain. That's why I use it. So it doesn't really matter if it goes up 10, 20 cents, whatever.
Way easier running on an F node.
Oh, yeah, so easy. And we've fully integrated Stellar for years now into our wallet, so we can move money in and out. The fact that USDC is coming on means we can add US dollars. I'm not sure I can handle it custodial wise. I'm still not sure. But it's just so easy to work with. And so this is really cool news for me. I can move into USDC or US dollar using that as a base.
Do you think that you will start using USDC more
Absolutely.
often now, Mark?
I'm going to be adding it into the wallet. Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
What was USDC on before this, or what is it on now?
I'm just gonna guess that it was ERC20.
Yeah.
but
ERC20.
I think. Yeah.
I mean,
maybe I
Colin-
should have done that research. I forgot.
Collins.
Someone will say in the chat room, I bet.
I mean,
Yeah,
you basically, if you're going to create a stable coin, you're going to put it on the easiest chains, or the ones that are going to help you the most. And Stellar is. I'm surprised they didn't do it before this time.
Yeah, it's Ethereum.
Yeah, Rap is saying Ethereum. Yeah, okay. All right. That does make sense. A lot of these stable coins, like if they're not as old as Tether, they probably started their life as an ERC20 token, just because it was a lot easier. It's somehow interoperable with. I don't know what Algorand is. I keep hearing that word, but I've never bothered to do the research on what that is.
It's another chain.
Okay. I guess that's a safe assumption. Yeah. Okay. So more USDC action then. In other words, I'm not sure if we're gonna be using it much. Like honestly, Bloom just kind of follows where the liquidity is, and at the moment, like Tether is what everyone locally is looking for. But I don't know. I guess if people started looking for USDC, we can handle it pretty easily.
Well, you're handling USDT conversion to pesos, right?
Yes, correct.
So you're going to charge a small premium to do it, cash out, and then you're going to sell USDC back to wherever you want to sell it, right?
Right. Correct. Yeah,
and that could be us as well. I mean, all this means I may have to move to be getting a VCE license. I want to be able to issue a PHP coin on Stellar, but I can't do it as an EMI. You have to do it as a VCE, and it's a little bit complicated.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Collins mentioned you wrap BTC and issue on a Stellar blockchain. We've done that a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But really, if no one's using it, you can wrap anything and put it on Stellar.
Yeah. I know that there are already Stellar anchors that handle BTC.
Yeah, I'm one
we
of
were
them.
looking at we were looking at this like back in 2018, when we were talking about what other stuff we could describe on the Stellar chain. So it's had a lot of this. Actually, so here's like a just quick question, Lang, to the rest of the panel. Like, I think that a lot of us here, enough of us here, have experience with Stellar to know that it's actually maybe arguably a superior technology to Ethereum when it comes to describing tokens on a blockchain.
When you're talking about payments and moving a value around, it's probably the easiest and best one to integrate, etc.
Right.
But it's not programmable in the way that you could do multi-sig addresses, but you can't program it like Ethereum. Yeah, it's just tokens.
Right. But I think that's by design, right? I mean, they didn't want Stellar to be a Turing complete programming language.
It's a payment platform. Yeah. It's meant for, and it's meant for with the DEX internally. You can, it's really easy to do conversion, so you don't need exchanges.
Yeah. So, question to you guys: what do you think is the reason why it just never clicked for Stellar?
What do you mean it never clicked?
Marketing.
Because Ethereum continues to dominate, even though
the network effect.
Yeah, it's a slow burner. I've talked to the foundation guys, and because they want to do more with EMIs and banks. The problem is if I get an EMI in Europe, for example, I can't do anything with Stellar because the central banks they're averse to that. So it's tough because Stellar want to help or want to do work on payment platforms, with real money, and the central banks are against it. So they're battling. It's hard to fight against that.
So you, Justin, you think it's just purely a marketing thing?
Yeah.
I
mean, like compared to what's the other one? Ripple.
Well, same guy that created. One's for profit, one's a foundation.
Right.
So I don't like Ripple. I like Stellar, but and I use it for what it's good for. And it is used a lot. It's just it's a slow burner, I think.
In the chat,
Why-
Raf is saying,
yeah.
from a compliance perspective, it's easier to justify with the BSP why
Why is that?
VCE is supporting USDC as compared to USDT. I
Yeah.
would surmise that he's talking about the history of Tether.
Yeah, because I don't
and
trust
all of
USDT
the-
at all.
Yeah.
You
So
mean
like,
you mean Bitfinex?
yeah. So the Bitfinex roots, the fact that like it's constantly associated with shadow banking and things like that. So I'd surmise that that's the reason.
That's interesting.
Colin is saying never
Yeah,
click
yeah.
with Stellar because its native token is not a good speculative vehicle.
When I like it because of that reason, because it's nice and stable for me to be able to use it. But it's not something you're going to make money. I said I'm not getting into XLM to make money.
Right,
I don't think anyone should get into that. And maybe for the short pump and dumps if you're going to do that, but on the news and stuff.
Right.
But
and you're right. Like if you put like $10, that's gonna last you a long time.
yeah, I'm still lasting on 3 years ago when I bought some. So,
Nice. Yeah. Who would have known that IBM would partner with them back in 2018?
yeah, but what's happened to that?
What have they done
What's happened
since?
to that? Yeah, Jesse
I
Lund
know,
left.
it's like-
Jesse
Yeah,
Lund
he
was the guy
left.
that was pushing it all. He left. Now he's doing. He's a pastor, and he's doing religious stuff. Nothing to do with blockchain.
Great. Yeah. Spend your life working on blockchain, and then you find God. That's interesting.
So who's pushing the vehicle along with IBM? I haven't seen anything for that.
I
So,
think that project was called WorldWire.
WorldWire, yeah.
Am I thinking of
Yeah.
the same one? Yeah. Okay. Right.
and
That went
RCBC
nowhere.
was supposed to be on that bandwagon, and nothing happened.
You're right. Yeah. Colin is saying that Stellar Foundation is generally good about not shamelessly pumping. I think that is. Yeah, I think I agree with that. The foundation just isn't. They're not a hype machine.
Yeah, they're
and
not
the
like
thing about-
Not like Ripple.
not like Ripple.
Yeah.
Ripple will sell you anything, anytime, anywhere.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Those
And
guys
then they'll
hustle
dump
like
it on
crazy.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's why people buy that, right? Because they know they can
Yes.
speculate the shit out of it.
Yeah,
Blockchain
you're
market.
and
JP Morgan
that's
using
correct.
this.
Also, that's correct.
Right.
Also, you look at the asset, you see that there's an organization dedicated to trying to make its price go up. So yeah, where do you put your money? Obviously there. I mean, and the Stellar Development Foundation just doesn't prioritize stuff like that.
Right.
So it's
Unless you
very-
like the tech.
I like
Yeah.
the tech is very good.
tech, yeah.
It's for what it does. It's very, very good, and they keep.
Amen.
And they're working with companies like ours to be able to do stuff like KYC, authorization, or stuff like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Blockchain and religion very closely coupled.
Yes. It is. It a lot of it is on faith. Faith
Yeah.
and TPS. Those are the two things that people will make their buying decisions on.
Which do you believe
Okay.
in, right?
Yeah. Okay, so here's another thing that Mark really likes, and he was talking to us about it right before the show started. I had forgotten that Filecoin existed until just a few
Working
days
under
ago.
the cover, yeah. 3
So
years.
for the guys who weren't around in 2017, Filecoin was one of the most successful ICOs. Were they the record holder for most amount of money raised in an ICO? It's like $210 million or something like that. So
$250 million, I think. Yeah.
yeah, it was like a massive amount. And they were, but their idea was not unique to them. As you were saying, Mark, there was a number of other projects that were quite similar. Storage. I don't really know how to
Storage.
pronounce that.
Sia
Coin.
yeah.
Yeah.
Made Safe was another one.
Right, made safe. Right, exactly. And all of them were trying to build an interplanetary file system, IPFS. Right, I believe that was kind of the generic term for what they were trying
And
to.
IPSF exists as a protocol, and then they were just they were using that to be able to leverage something on top. So you get paid for your spare hard disk storage, or if you want to be someone like Backblaze is already charging $5 a month per terabyte.
Right.
So they
Right.
can then leverage this system as well. So you get big players and small players that can play in this market. And the original ideas of the internet were that files would be available, no censorship, data everywhere, and it's kind of been supplanted by Amazon, Google, Microsoft for the data clouds. So I think this is a move back to Tim Berners-Lee's idea of a free and uncensored internet.
Right.
Just-
Colin
I think-
is correcting us. EOS was the largest ICO, right? And I think that I had forgotten that EOS was an ICO just
Telegram
because
doesn't count.
they never stopped raising. Like they were raising for 2 years. Like they just kept raising money over and over again. It was insane.
I haven't heard
why-
about EOS in a while.
Why doesn't Telegram count? Telegram would
Because they have to give all the money
They
back.
have to give it back.
well, okay, all right. Okay, so we're not
Um,
counting the ones that had to return the money. Okay, all right.
BitTorrent, that's really just Tron, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, yeah, I don't really.
Hey, is it me or does Filecoin remind you or have a little bit of a semblance to Silicon Valley's Pied Piper kind of
Yes,
thing?
absolutely.
Is that what it reminds you? That's the first thing I kind of.
Well, this is was that storage or computing power? It was computing
Okay.
power.
They were compression. They were a compression
Yeah.
algorithm, right?
Yeah,
they were
that's
trying
right.
to.
And then everything.
Describe it,
they wanted to
describe
be
it.
the internet. Yeah.
I forgot. I can't fucking remember. I just remember it was compression, but like that's all, right?
There was
But Filecoin is not actually doing anything like that. Filecoin is splitting up your files into anonymous chunks, living on the hard drives of other people. I believe that's. Am I describing that correctly?
Yes, yeah. And you can't.
Yeah.
No one can get access to the material. You've only got little pieces of it.
Right,
And then you bid for the the pricing that you can store it at against what people will can charge you for it. So it's a marketplace. If you can come down from $23 a terabyte down to say $2 or so a terabyte down, I'm going to use it. I've got a lot of terabytes of data I want to use to store. So this is cool.
There's some terms here that I've never heard of. So Filecoin miners come in different types: storage miners, retrieval miners, and repair miners.
Yeah, you got for the storage miners, the pure storage, and then you've got the ones that deliver the content to where they need to go. So you got the bandwidth, and then you got the storage. The other two, I wasn't sure. What do you call it?
Who are the ones that need like 32 gigabytes of RAM?
They're the ones that need to deliver.
photographers.
They need to deliver the content. So that's processing the content as fast as possible to get it out to the end user.
Dude, it sounds like they're recreating the internet. Like
well, IPSF, yeah, it's
okay,
yeah.
Interesting.
But it's really, if you get into it, your brain will start hurting. So try not to think about it too much. But the idea will be to get nice, simple software like storage. They had some nice, simple software. You installed it, you ran it, and that's all. So if they can do that, then it'll become a lot more successful, because you don't want to get too technical on this.
So Filecoin is a 6-day-old chart, which is quite funny. So they started at they broke $100. They started the first day at about $114. They are currently right now at a slightly more reasonable $45, almost $50. Did you make an investment directly in the coin, Mark?
No. I mean, when I get into it, then I'll need to buy it. But I'm pretty glad I didn't get into it right at the beginning. Obviously, I didn't buy any 3 years ago. I didn't invest in any ICOs. But this one, of the more useful ICOs, I think, this is one of the ones that will stick.
Right. Okay.
I'll get into this. I've got, I have a lot of terabytes spare, but I don't think I'll make a lot of money. But I want to store my data somewhere. And I want proof of the storage, proof of file storage somewhere, so I can prove to people I've done that. That's more important to me than just storing the data.
Raf actually owns some Sia coin, so my condolences, Raf. Sorry about that. I don't know. Like, I feel, how many of these do we have space for? More than 2 or 3 of these types of blockchain?
Yeah, just like you have Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. You've got room for 3 or 4.
I remember Steve Jobs saying very famously back when he was still alive. He saw Dropbox for the first time, and he was saying, "This is not a company. This is just a feature." And many years later, every big software company has cloud storage. for their customers. Everyone from Microsoft to Google to Apple to Samsung to freaking like Fuji has cloud storage
They all
because
have
it's such
features.
a commodity kind of thing, right?
They all have features.
Right, because it's just something you kind of expect, I guess. As a customer these days, if you work with lots of files, you just kind of expect that your software provider will also give you storage for it.
Well,
What
I want to be able to see is something like Nextcloud, which is your own Dropbox clone. So it has your own software, your own mobile app, etc., desktop, and then link that on the back end to Filecoin. So there was the ability to link it to storage, but I want to see that linked to Filecoin, and then you can basically run your own Dropboxes, much lower file storage.
Right. I think I'm gonna give it a look. I might as well. I mean, I could always use a little bit of extra cloud storage that isn't necessarily beholden to Google or Dropbox or whatever.
Right.
That could be useful.
I'll read something out quick. I saw this but did not confirm anything.
Yeah.
But it's pretty like, I mean, if this is true, then it's pretty bad, and hopefully Filecoin gets to fix stuff. So Filecoin is very complex and requires high-end hardware, including minimum 128 gigabytes of memory. So one miner means you're like 3 servers with 2 computing and 1 storing. That'll cost you like $40,000.
Nice.
And then the ceiling, I think this is when you store the data on your servers as a miner, is the bottleneck. So like you can only do about a terabyte a day. So if you have 300 terabytes, it'll take you like almost a year to use it all up.
Right. Interesting.
So your return on investment is not so good.
Very slow. It sounds like very, very slow.
If at all.
Bit like Bitcoin, really, isn't it?
Wow. Okay, we're making those types of jokes. Okay.
When you got ROI 18 months on your miners, it's also slow. Nothing's easy these days.
Yeah, that's true. And whereas Dropbox gives you 2 terabytes of data for less than $80 a year. So
but you're still paying. You're paying I can't remember now. It was about $20 a terabyte, or something similar to Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I guess it depends on what you need it for. I think if you're just a normal retail user, maybe you've got lots of photos or videos of your kids, and you just don't want to have them all on your computer. That kind of thing.
You put them all on Facebook, don't you?
Yes, that's true. That's how they get you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on. We've got about 30 minutes left in the show, and I still wanted to talk about our blockchain regulation stuff. I'll just do this one very quickly because I just wanted to talk about it really quick. Last week we were talking about NFT art and how it was quickly becoming a very big part, very big subsection of the crypto space. So last week, an artist broke the all-time record for a single piece of artwork that was auctioned off for $200,000, about 500 ETH. The auction itself took place over 48 hours, I should say. 48 hours. There were hundreds of bids. It started at just a few ETH, and then over time it got larger and larger, and then the whales started to come in. And what I've noticed with auctions like this is there's a moment when the whales start to take interest, and that's usually the moment when it starts to break 10 ETH. Because if the artwork is not worth about 10 Ether, it's almost not even worth the investment for certain types of collectors. So when it broke 10 ETH, then the big names started pouring in, and you could see like the smaller collectors started to pull out of the race. So it was very interesting to watch it. Just a little bit of
why?
Yeah, okay. So let me tell you the story about the artwork itself. So on the left side, you'll see kind of a comic book version of Batman. And on the right side, you'll see a painted version of Batman. So if you buy the artwork, you get both. It was made by 2 artists. The first artist, the guy who did the comic book art, his name is Jose Delbo. He's an 87-year-old comic book artist who has been working in the comics industry since the 50s. He's basically like, I was joking that he probably drew that Batman in about 10 minutes, because if you have been doing something like that for that long, it's basically like muscle memory. You're not even really thinking about it anymore, and you can just kind of do it, right? So this guy's 87 years old, and he started making his work available as NFTs, crypto art, over just the last few months. Every single piece has sold at least in the $10,000 range. So this is obviously one of his largest. But what he did was he collaborated with this other guy, Trevor Jones, who is a painter. He's one of the most well-known crypto artists currently. I actually got the chance to work with Trevor on a CoinDesk project last year. He wasn't as well known back then, but basically his career has just exploded in the last 8-9 months. Basically every piece he puts out there easily in the $10,000, $20,000 range. So these guys together blew up the internet. Basically, everyone was watching this kind of massive sale, and it's the first time really that like even mainstream art venues are going to start taking notice, because this is the kind of money that even a traditional piece of artwork would be glad to make, right?
Do you think in 5 years' time what this could be worth? That the only reason for buying it now is to appreciate it and see what the value is.
Generally speaking, So the first thing I will address is that yes, the people who are making these speculative collection type bids they're thinking about investments. The funny thing about crypto art is that the flip is not years. So like one of the guys who so when this Batman went out for sale, there were also other they also had a couple of other paintings that they also released, but they were kind of lower priced. And a few of them were resold literally 48 hours or 72 hours after the original buyer had bought them. And he managed to make an easy 300% gain on those buys. So some people are using these things as very quick kind of flips. I'll give you one little personal anecdote on this. Our friend Gabby Dizon, he owns a lot of my crypto art. And we were kind of laughing the other day because he 3x'd his original investment on one of them just a couple of weeks ago. It was obviously not $200,000, nowhere near that. But I thought it was quite funny that I can now say that someone made a pretty reasonable ROI on something that they had bought from me. So that is kind of what the space looks like. A lot of young collectors will try to make, bets on, ideally younger artists that are not as expensive as these guys here. Mm-hmm. And then they will try to, help that artist become more well-known. And in doing so, it also increases the value of their investment in that artist. And it's exactly the way art patronage has worked since the freaking Renaissance era, except that we're doing it on the internet.
What are the chances that people here are perhaps buying from themselves, or at least working with someone who's rich, and then getting the public to notice because hey, I just sold something for $500,000. So
you mean it does in the real world as well? The same thing.
I'm guessing it's easier here because it's no KYC, right? Like in the real world, art galleries have to take KYC, which sounds weird. It's the reality.
I don't think the collectors need to submit to. I think you can buy art, or talking just traditional art. I think you can buy traditional art as an anonymous collector. I don't think you have to necessarily KYC. But I think your point. It is possible.
It's actually covered in the covered transaction list of things that have to be declared. Here in the Philippines, along with jewelry and art.
Okay.
That's a good point here. And
what's he saying?
Does sound good for artists because this has been the bane of in traditional art. Like the artists always feel like they get nothing when their artwork was sold for $10 million 20 years later, right?
Right.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
this is not something you can enforce. It has to be sold on the same platform, or they have, like if you go Rarible to OpenSea, even now
Yeah.
they don't have a, like if you sell, you have a royalty fee on one side and then you sell it on the other, you can't enforce it. It's not in.
I see.
Yeah,
it's-
yeah. So that is a consequence of just the smart contract not being robust enough to do it. But yeah, so one of the reasons why I've personally decided to stay on just one venue, so that I just sell on Maker's Place, is because the royalties are automatic. So at that moment when Gabby resold that artwork of mine, I instantly got the kickback
Yeah, but
within
he
5
can
minutes.
he could sell it
Oh.
on OpenSea, can't he? You're not limited to one exchange. It said, once you own it, you should be able to sell it anywhere.
Yeah, but I guess my presence is also very focused on Maker's Place, so it's unlikely that anyone would be interested in buying my stuff elsewhere.
No, I might
But
buy
yes,
it
you're
there, but I
right.
might want to resell it on Rarible.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. No, I take your point. And I guess
And-
that's a possibility also. I mean, the thing is, Gabby also, I mean, obviously he's a friend, right? So like he'd do it in such a way that would both make something from it. But yeah, you're right. If someone decided to sell the NFT on a completely separate marketplace, then the artist would get nothing. But yeah, again, you're making it a little harder for yourself also, because Maker's Place, or whatever the original venue was, that's where all of the other art is. At least the art, that artist's other work are all there. So if buyers are interested in this kind of art style, it's easier for them to just
think-
kind of stay with a particular place.
I think if there's, I think that what Rarible and OpenSea are doing is sharing that ability. So in the token that you created, it has a royalty fee, and then every auction house or auction place, because I'm going to be creating an auction place. I'm basically turning Tag Bond into an auction place. So I'll take that data and just say I'll honor that. So if all exchanges actually honor it, then it should
Right.
work out fine.
Right. Yeah. I guess that would be the ideal scenario for sure. Yeah. I hope they do. I know that Rarible has had problems with royalty payments and stuff like that. But yeah. Anyway, I mean, I guess that's just growing pains also.
It's easy to
but
do.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, I've sold like 2 things on Rarible. Nearly everything I've sold, 99% of everything I've sold has always been on Maker's Place, just because I can't be bothered to explore the other places anymore.
So do I get my the one you created for me a long time, the tokenizer? Do I get that? Do I get that?
You can mint it yourself. You can just say that with the support of the artist, you're minting it. You can sell it if you want. It's up to you.
So I am selling
I give it to
myself. No, I paid you for it a little bit. Donations to the cause and
right,
so on.
Right.
So I could sell. You're talking about making a token of myself. Then that's a token, right?
Yeah. Yes, that is true. Yeah,
Made by a now famous artist.
not exactly $200,000 famous, but
well, you never know. Yeah, one day.
Yeah. So okay, yeah. So I just wanted to just talk about that. Just a little bit of follow up. I feel like the crypto art space is going to keep going, at least for a while longer. We'll see what happens like a year from now, but it seems like people are pretty interested in kind of just watching where it goes.
I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it's going to grow and keep growing.
Yeah. Okay. So Attorney Raf actually helped me prepare this section here. There is a bill that's currently sitting in Congress. It's still, they haven't really passed it. It's just something that it's going through the various stages. And it is a regulatory framework for blockchain regulations. What I did was I TLDR'd it because it's pretty, like, I didn't want to read the whole thing, right? And that's like not really necessary for the show. But I wanted to TLDR just kind of the important bits. And I thought that one of the really important bits was the way it started. It's basically saying that the law should recognize blockchains as a source of truth. So it's the same way as, they had to actually legislate back when, whether or not emails could be kind of admissible in the court as evidence. So it's kind of the same thing here, where they're now saying that if you enter into a smart contract on a blockchain, the law will recognize that agreement. Granted, probably still want to sign a paper contract if you want to get. But yeah, they're saying potential source of truth. They're not saying that it's the they're not saying that it's going to be the only one. The Congress is the source of lies. Well, I mean, I wouldn't go that far. But okay. Limitations to the use of a blockchain. I thought this was really funny. TLDR. Even if you are using a blockchain, so when I say you, I'm talking about the business entities that are using this blockchain or a smart contract, you still need to provide a written notice if you are someone like Meralco, a utility provider, a landlord. So that means if my landlord decides to kick me out, like evict me, she can't do it she can't just rely on a smart contract to do that. She actually has to give me something in writing that says I am evicting you. Like the smart contract that manages my apartment doesn't just expire, something like that. Like you actually have to put it in writing. The other thing is, if you are a health insurance provider, you have to notify your customers in writing that you're canceling their policy. Again, even if you built an insurance policy on the blockchain, the insurance policy expiring, the smart contract expiring is not enough. You have to do that. And then finally, if you are a manufacturer recalling a product, so if you fucked up, you need to bring it back. That makes a little bit more sense. And then finally, if you're unlucky enough to be transporting a toxic substance, I don't know why that was one of the. That's like, I'm not sure what the hell is going on there. But they actually saw fit to mention that.
But I don't even understand like how you would use blockchain for those things, and it's like, I guess and there's also so much coordination that has to happen with the meat space. For example, health insurance provider. Like, there's still someone who's going to say, "Oh, this person got injured or has cancer now," so the blockchain doesn't know that. So I don't understand this.
Well, I would guess that this congressman has been drinking the Kool-Aid, the blockchain Kool-Aid, and kind of envisions a world where everything is kind of run on smart contracts. And I think the Meralco example is where your electric usage is actually run by smart contract, right? Where if you're not putting in a certain amount of PHP tokens to pay for your kilowatt hour usage, it'll just shut off or something like that.
Right.
And I think maybe what they're saying here, that in order for that to be enforced, Meralco actually has to give you some kind of written notice that they're about to cut you off or something like that.
I don't understand the toxic substance thing. It just doesn't.
Dude, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was really hilarious, though. Yeah,
it's like those warning signs on blankets from China that say not to be used in case of tornado, stuff like that.
Yeah.
What? Weird.
Yeah, I don't really know. But that was, I guess it's like if you were transporting something really toxic, you want to have the appropriate documentation for it and not just the hash of a smart contract or a QR code. Like, you actually want to have a piece of paper that says this is a hazardous pesticide that could, like kill you if you got in contact with it.
I'm no lawmaker, but I feel like this is years away from being a topic that can be meaningfully discussed.
Yep. I agree. But they certainly jumped ahead of themselves with this one.
Smoking marijuana, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Is that toxic
At
substance?
the minimum, yeah.
Is that a toxic substance? I don't know.
Smoking a toxic substance that he must also issue a written notice about.
He did. It's called this whole thing is a written notice. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you're right. Speaking of landlords, whatever happened to Slockit? I cannot remember. So Slockit is MakerDAO, right? That's the company behind MakerDAO. I don't. Oh, sorry, not MakerDAO. VDAO. I'm just talking. Sorry, I mean DAO, the original first version of the DAO.
The one that was forked,
Hacked. The one that was hacked.
and
Yeah.
then where Ethereum forked to save
Yeah,
the
yeah.
access.
Well, the website's there. Nothing else.
Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah. Oh, okay. So the website's still up.
Yeah, I checked it.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean,
cool.
for this whole, I'm glad this is moving forward because I want to combine NFTs, especially ERC 1155, with government to be able to combine best sides of both worlds. Data on the one side managed by the government still, but ownership that you can move around, so you don't have to deal with paper. So this is a good move, to move ahead with the stuff they're talking about here. It's good.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see if it's actually going to make it all the way through. There's some other stuff here that I think you'll find interesting also. Basically, it's just saying that the BSP needs to review the potential application of blockchain technology to banking and consider possible adoption. So yeah, it's basically just just look at it, guys. Just give it a look. I'm pretty sure that you don't actually even need legislation for that. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Already. Yeah.
Well,
I don't actually know.
Lawmakers gonna law.
Right. I guess so.
It's not the BSP that this should be aimed at. It's local government units, other government units to use technology in the best way. That's who I want this aimed at. The BSP's already got that under control.
I was thinking that with this policy in place, there's a lot of blockchain consultants out there that could potentially make some pretty decent money from just providing their services to all of these government units that are going to have to do all the research and
they'll have to wait a couple of years because they haven't got any money anymore. Or they're going to be run out soon.
Yeah, well, that's true. Well, don't forget that. I mean, I don't know if obviously the deadline on this, I don't know if it's actually going to make it because it says on or before June 30, 2021, right? So that's not that far away. That's within the next 6 months. So if you were going to get hired to be a BSP blockchain consultant, now is the time to be making those moves. I guess. Yeah. Or PIDS. I don't actually know what PIDS does, but social welfare programs. Okay, I guess that's it. Yeah. Last one. The Philippine Statistics Authority continues to want to make a national ID system.
The BSP is doing that now.
Well, I think they want to delay it some more by putting it on a blockchain now. Just to make it a bit more complicated.
I suggested this right at the beginning, but now they're only just thinking about it. Oh well.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I'm not sold on the idea of putting on
blockchain.
It on a blockchain because it's like they control it, right? Like there's no need for distributed consensus when it comes.
Right now, we just want once you've got all the IDs, you can do more with it, like sovereign IDs based on a national ID, stuff like that. We just want people to get an ID out there that makes it easier to set up an account with you guys or me or anyone else. Bank accounts.
That's funny. So Colin is correct. This policy that we're reading through, it is not a smart contract, so they can't change the dates on it. They are very likely going to do that. I think that June 30, 2021 is incredibly aggressive for this kind of work, but whatever. Well, we'll see. It'll be interesting to see it. Okay, Mon, sorry, I interrupted you. So you're not sold on the idea of a national ID system being built on a blockchain?
On a blockchain, the way we use it today, like where you have distributed consensus, because it's so expensive to run it, right? And they're going to be the gatekeepers anyway. Like, okay, I'll give you an ID. I'll verify that this is really your information. And they don't need to agree with anybody else.
Do you? What are your thoughts on this, Mark? Do you agree that, or what are your thoughts on a national ID on a blockchain?
No, you can once you've got your ID sorted. I mean, where's that data going to sit? You could use well, yes, exactly. But you could have
Filecoin. Yeah.
There's no reason why you can't do that. It's just it'll be a cheaper option for government. But if you've got one central database that's capable of being hacked, etc., that's where you might want to use a permission blockchain where the data is held in multiple places, and you can use the data. I mentioned multi-chain from a long time ago. That's an ideal case for it. where you can store the actual data on or off chain slightly, but it's linked and it's really easy to manage across multiple locations. But you use the technology for what it's good for. I think having all that data in one place is a honeypot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Always.
that as I said, the way we define blockchain today, but there certainly could be some cryptographic chain that ensures that the data is intact, right? And like it wasn't changed in the middle or something.
Right.
Yeah.
I was going to
that'd be-
say,
tracking.
I don't like the idea of an immutable blockchain, right? For something like your identification, shit like that. So how, what happens when when there's a mistake or it's immutable?
well, yeah. So that's like they'll be able to edit it. So it's not going to be immutable.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. But you want to
this
pass
a bit for
that.
for the technical people. Like if you put it on Git, right? Like,
Yeah.
that is a chain, and there is cryptographic proof that like you didn't just change something in the middle. So they could use Git.
Well, look, using what I was saying on the multi-chain side, it's a private blockchain, but you have the ability to write data and then append data. So you always have a record of what's happened in the past. So that kind of thing you need in government, some kind of proof, transparency, and ease of use, where you don't have to have all these people looking after these big databases. They're going to be trying to be hacked. It's going to be very difficult to hack multiple nodes that are running across government departments. So yeah, they should use blockchain, but not in the way that we understand, public blockchains.
I think that I've been hearing about national IDs for, God, I don't know, as long as the age of Bloom, I guess. Like we keep talking about it, and we never seem to get anywhere with it.
I mean, India did it in 1 year with the Aadhaar system, and if they could do it for 1.4 billion people, I'm sure we can do it for 100 million.
Yeah. I don't know. It feels pretty. I'm depressed by how long it's taken to just even decide on what the system is gonna be.
You're in the Philippines. Why are you depressed? This happens all the time.
I know, but like I'm not made of stone, Mark. I do feel sad about these things still. I want that fucking ID at some point. I don't know. It's just weird.
Fatalistic. You just know that these things are going to take time, so they do.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So we are not. In other words, we don't believe that the Philippine Statistics Authority is going to have a. Actually, you know what? All it says is they are authorized to conduct a study,
which will take another year or two.
Yeah. It's got nothing to do with implementation.
They should give it to a private company to do it. It'll get knocked out much faster, but then that's another issue.
Okay. All right. So that's well, I mean Colin said it, like it's unlikely that this is actually gonna hit on June 30th, 2021. We don't even know when this bill will actually get passed. But so it is what it is. We shall see. But yeah, lawmakers gonna lawmakers gonna
make law.
Gonna make law. That's pretty much it. Okay. We're actually just around the end of the show now. Trying to see if there's anything in the chat. So there's like okay. Oh, you're right, Mark. So maybe the BSP is getting involved with the national.
No, they're definitely doing it. Yeah.
Okay. Governor Jokno inspects printing machines for national ID. Okay. All right. I feel like that's not really part of their. Is that part of their purview? That sounds.
Considering that most IDs, national IDs, will be used for financial purposes, then yeah, it's definitely the BSP who can make a big impact there.
Okay. All right. I guess that's fair.
Okay. A nice title to add to their story. So
sure. I guess you could also. Yeah. Hey, does that mean if they start handling our IDs, does that mean the KYC will basically be automatic? Because you don't really have to. Hopefully, right? I mean, it's the same department at that point.
Yeah.
So Okay, I
Well,
hope
what are
so.
the chances they're gonna give you? They're gonna give certain people API access when they have a number. Like, oh, can you just give me this information in text format?
God.
Well, if you're
yeah.
if you're gonna knock out a central bank currency and you've KYC'd everyone, it's gonna be a lot easier in the future. Because anyone with a national ID system, they're now allowed to receive your money or whatever, and they can track it. They can do it account based or anonymous. So it's going to be. It just makes sense for the BSP to do this. And as long as different government departments have got dick swinging contests, to say which one's bigger. Hopefully, the BSP can push forward on this.
Okay. We will see. We will see, guys. I can't wait for my my blockchain verified national ID that I will probably have to pay $6 in Ethereum gas fees for every time I need to verify against it. That'll be fun. So okay. So let's do our closing raffle. Oh, sorry. Any final thoughts? Is anyone doing anything interesting within the next week or two? We're coming up to the last week of October. Any personal news? Mark, you doing anything next week?
Well,
Buying
so
another
much.
house,
No, I'm buying another house. I'm buying the land in front of my house so I can do more hydroponics.
Dude, I was half right.
No, hydroponics, growing fruit and veggies and stuff like that. So yeah, and nothing to do with
Nice.
blockchain. So you got to keep balance, right? Not everything is blockchain based. But yeah, on the blockchain side, I'm doing a lot of stuff. I'll tell you next week.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So don't forget that if you use any toxic substances in your garden, you need to make sure there is written notice. You can't just put it in a smart contract. Mon, Justin, anything from you guys? Anything interesting to look forward to?
Well, I said that I wanted to look into that BTC guide for multisig using Spectre and do a 2 of 3 or a 3 out of 5 multisig wallet. When I get to sit down and go through it, and also when I get my wallets, I'll let you guys know how it goes.
That's good.
Cool.
Yeah. A bit of tech stuff. Good.
Yeah. Colin won't stop shilling Crypto PH in the chat. Okay, point taken.
Yeah, Crypto PH. Yeah, come. If you're going to talk to, I was going to mention that when you say where does someone get hold of you, it's Crypto PH. Yeah.
I mean, Colin's already. Anyway, okay, fine, great. Now we have to do it twice. Anyway, I already said it at the top of the show, by the way, Colin, just in case it seems like you missed that. Anyway, okay. Let's do our raffle. We've got 2 lucky winners, $20 of Bitcoin each. I've got my soundboard ready. Just need to find the window right here. Okay, here we go. Looking for our first winner now.
Colin.
Mark Anthony. Oh, Mark, it was close this time. It was almost your name, but it's not. Yeah, okay, pretty good. Mark Anthony, if you're still in the chat, please sound off so we can find you. Actually, I just saw him right there. Here we go. Yeah, so he was saying every time you verify, he's talking about my ID joke. Every time you verify, you have to pay gas. Yep, that would be how that would work. That would be pretty funny. Okay, Mark Anthony, congratulations. I'll look for you at the end of the show, and I will get your Bitcoin address from you. Okay. Winner number 2. Here we go. AS Barbie Ann sounds like. Is that a?
That's something. Binance. What's her name?
Yeah. Has she won before? I can't remember. Has she won before?
Maybe.
Okay. Anyway, it's fine. If I can't remember, then I guess you win. So okay. So congratulations to AS Barbie Ann and Mark Anthony.
Hey, wait, and I got another $20 coming from me, and either Ether or Bitcoin for giveaway next week. The usual thing.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. Okay, so we'll do. You want me to roll? I'll roll another one.
Yeah, except for Colin. If Colin wins, you got to do it again.
Colin can't win. Colin can't win because he's been a guest of the show.
Oh, okay. All right then.
So it's fine.
Roll it. Who we got?
Oh, what?
Oh, come on.
That's not the same one you had. No. Okay, so we can't do that again because Yeah. That was.
Yeah,
I
AS
can't do it again.
Barbiani is saying she has won. She has won twice before. Oh, thanks for being honest.
Oh, right. So you got to run.
Oh,
So you
so I
got to
have
do
to do two. I have to two more. Okay. Jeez. Wow, guys. Okay. All right. We're really working for it. AS Barbie and thank you for being honest. You are you're a hero.
Oh, come on. There's some more people on the list here.
This is getting kind of funny. Sorry, Charles Sampson, you have won twice, and one of the prizes was pretty
Like the
big.
most
So,
winningest
yeah, you're
commenter.
definitely the most winningest person in the history of BloomCast. Dude, we're gonna be here all night.
You get
Okay. Ben Villanueva has won once before,
Okay,
but
that's
it's only been once, so I'll accept that one. So okay, so just to review, so it's Mark Anthony, Ben Villanueva,
and another one coming up for.
and one last one coming up, and this one is going to be the one that you're sponsoring, Mark.
Yeah, $20 worth of Ether or Bitcoin, which one?
Okay.
Either one.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is $20, courtesy of Mark and Tag Cash. Here we go. Kind of hope it is Colin, just to be annoying.
it's a new
Jan. Yeah. Okay. Sure. I think so. Is that new?
Looks
Okay.
new,
All right.
Are
I think
they-
so.
Are they, on
yeah.
the, are they in the chat?
Yeah. I saw her pretty early on in the show. Okay. So winners today were Mark Anthony, Jan, and Mark Anthony, Ben Villanueva.
Yeah. We
And,
can ask for their national IDs.
Oh no! Look,
so
Jan
that
Jan
we-
has
so we can
also
make
won
sure
twice.
They don't repeat
Oh,
again.
Jan Jan's also won
Dude.
twice.
oh my God!
Really?
So many honest people here.
Wow.
There's so many honest
Nobody
people
wants
on the
that, huh?
show. Guys,
Wow.
you know, I'm really impressed by how honest our audience is. Like, they refuse free money just because they don't want it to go to them. They want it to share with other people.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
all right.
good. Okay, roll it again.
That's really great. Okay, so not Jan. So not Jan, just typing that in the chat so she sees it. Okay, there you go.
This is hilarious.
Okay, one last one. Here we go. Still courtesy of Mark. How many times have I rolled, guys? Jeez, I'm actually getting tired. This is
Oh.
bad. This is getting really bad.
The random number generator is
It's broken, dude. Hey,
well, it's still random.
Mon, what do you think? Yeah, it is random. That's the problem. It's too random. Mon, what will it take to just build a generator that actually makes sense for our purposes? Like, how much work does that actually take to do? Kaya?
do you want YouTube also?
Dude, like, it just
Oh
keeps
my
going
God.
back. What? That's insane.
I can't even give away money here. Oh,
Yeah. Whoa. Okay,
Oh,
this is
okay.
definitely a new name. Karma Akabane, I guess. Okay.
Is that a
Karma.
Filipino or Nigerian name?
It's neither. I don't.
Oh.
It's both. Or both.
Karma?
Okay, or both. Yeah, I guess they're not mutually exclusive. It sounds kind of like a made-up name to me. Okay. So quick review. So it was Mark Anthony. It was
Ben Villanueva.
Ben
Ben
Villanueva.
Villanueva.
And Karma.
And then it was Karma Akabane. If you are in the chat, please sound off or leave a comment somewhere so we can find you. Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah. Okay, I see him now. Okay, thank you guys. Oh my God, that was a lot of effort. So Jan is asking, will the 2x rule reset in 2021? Okay, Jan, for you, the rule will reset in 2021. Also, because I can't be bothered to remember what everyone's names were from the last 35 episodes or whatever it is by then.
We need some new members.
Yeah, so we're gonna try to. Hey, people from the Crypto PH group, if you guys want to start giving away your Lechon tokens, someone come on the show and represent Crypto PH next week. and we'll have one of you guys do it. So Lechon is the official token of CryptoPH. It is ERC20, so you're gonna have to have an Ether wallet for it. I don't believe it actually has any value, but it's kind of funny. So yeah. Okay. Thank you for joining us this week, guys. That is it for the show. Coach Eman has already left. You know where to find him. Mark Vernon.
#CryptoPH. That's where you're going to catch me, talk to me, and chill out. That's the best place to catch me. Thanks. Okay, Colin, is that enough? Is that enough now?
CryptoPH, you guys had better sponsor one of the prizes at some point because we're really working our butts off now. Okay, Justin, David, do you want to take us out?
Sure. Check us out, guys, on Bloom.Solutions, on Facebook, also Telegram as well. You can find Bloom info about Bloom there.
And don't forget, guys, if you want to talk to Mark, me, Justin, or Ramon, we will be found in the CryptoPH Telegram group.
Okay.
Okay, all right, that's enough. That's too much shilling. Okay, thank you guys, and good night. It was a good